Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. Hope you're all having a great day. I just got back from watching the Kingston Frontenacs game. So, that was fun. But now we're back to business. Now we're back to real reaction video. And, before we get into the reaction video, I need y'all to do me two things. I need y'all to hit the like button so people can find out about us. I need y'all to hit the subscribe button. Do those two things. Pew. Do those two things for me right there. So, video we react to today is Top 3 Photos with Disturbing Backstories Part 2. So I think we need to get right into this. You guys ready? Of course you're ready. Let's go.
Today I'm going to tell you 3 progressively more horrifying stories that at the end of each of them, I'm going to show you the picture or pictures that are famously associated with that particular story. Okay. But before we get into today's stories, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right channel, because that's all I do, and I upload 3, 4, even 5 times every week. If that's of interest to you, then please move into the top floor of a high-rise apartment building that does not have a working elevator, and then ask the like button to help you move. Also, please subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly uploads. Alright, let's get into today's stories.
That'd be a lot of work just to make the like button stuff, because then you're just off for the rest of the goddamn time you're there. Actually, I think the like button has the easy advantage in that one. Hey! Phone! Quiet! Quiet, phone. A wall of death. Oh, God.
On March 20th, 1980, significant volcanic activity began to occur all over Mount St. Helens in Washington state. The north face of the mountain had begun to visibly shake, and then by March 27th, there was steam.
Give me a second. Alright.
Coming out of the craters and vents all over the north side of the mountain. That April, scientists began to notice that there was this massive bulge that was growing on the north side of this mountain that was about 1 mile in diameter, and every day it was growing about 6 feet farther and farther up the mountain, and it was...
That sounds fascinating, actually.
Basically this massive undercurrent of magma that was going towards the top of the mountain, getting ready to explode. Initially, there was some speculation that perhaps this magma bulge is not nearly as big of a deal as people are making it out to be, that really, at worst, it could be a small eruption and it would have no impact on the surrounding areas. But authorities became skittish and were worried that they could just be caught with their pants down if this turned into a full-blown volcanic eruption. So they began evacuating the area. And for the most part, everybody evacuated, with the exception of a few scientists and some photographers and some really hardcore people that did not want to leave their homes. One of those people who had stayed behind was Robert Landsberg, who was a photographer, and on May 18th, 1980, he was out hiking about 7 miles away from the summit of Mount St. Helens, and he was making his way up to try to find a good viewpoint of that north face. He wanted to look at that magma surge that was making its way up on the north side of the mountain. And so finally he makes his way up and he gets to a great spot and he starts taking pictures of that north face. While Robert is taking pictures of that side of the mountain, a 5.2 magnitude earthquake struck the area, causing that entire north face of Mount St. Helens to be sheared off and begin falling down the side of the mountain. It's this massive landslide. It's one of the biggest that's ever been recorded in that area. But what it really did is all of a sudden that entire magma surge that had been building up underneath on the north side, making its way up, suddenly is uncovered, and it causes this massive volcanic explosion shooting 15 miles straight up into the air, along with this...
Oh my God. Oh. Damn. 15 miles of pure magma lava. Volcanic eruptions. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Massive vertical blast. There was a simultaneous lateral blast basically pointed directly at Robert, and it sent these molten debris surging down the mountainside at 100 miles an hour or faster. Robert knew he had no hope of escaping this wall of magma and ash coming straight at him. So he decides, instead of trying to save myself, I'm going to take as many pictures as I can of this volcanic eruption, and then I'm going to try to protect the film. And so Robert took as many pictures as he could of this massive volcanic wall of death coming towards him until the very last second when he puts his camera into his bag, he puts that into his backpack, and then he holds it against his chest and lays down on the ground using his body as the last protective measure to try to save this film for posterity. 17 days later, they find Robert Landsberg's body, and sure enough, he was able to protect his film by laying on top of it. And so they developed the pictures that he took, and they're incredible. Here are the final pictures that Robert Landsberg took before he was killed by the volcano.
So get this, every 1.2 seconds, a new user goes to Wix.com and starts...
Robert
I want to go back because I want to see these photos. Stupid ads. I want to see what these photos look like.
Landsberg took before he was killed by the volcano.
So it's probably after it first exploded, I would guess. And this is when it starts getting bigger, and that means I wouldn't want to see all that surging at me. There it is. Yep. Look at that. That's probably the final shot he took. And this one's what could go wrong.
On September 21st, 2014, Darsh Patel, who was a 22-year-old college student, was out hiking in a New Jersey state park along with 5 of his college buddies. As they were about to head down a particular trail that they had actually gone to this park to go down, a man and woman come charging up the path towards them. And so Darsh and his friends stop, and they're looking at these 2 people who look totally distraught and scared. And the man and woman immediately say, "Hey, don't go down this path. We were just down there, and for the past 10 minutes, a black bear has been stalking us in the tree line. We don't know where it went, but we got up here, we turned around, and it was gone, but we would not suggest going down this path. It's just not worth it."
Okay, so if I'm these people, if anyone had any common sense in this group, which I'm going to guess will reveal they don't, if I was them, the moment I would be told, "Hey, there's a bear on there," I'd be like, "Okay, well, I'm good going in there today. I ain't going down this trail. Screw that stuff. I ain't going down no damn trail with a black bear nearby. I don't want to die. I want to leave." So, that was, yeah. I'm going to guess we're going to find out they didn't do the right choice here.
Darsh and his friends tell the couple, "Thank you for giving us the heads up. We were actually going to go down that path, and so I guess now we won't." And so the couple, they quickly leave, and Darsh and his friends are sitting there thinking, well, now what do we do? Because this was the trail we were going to go down. This is why we're here. As they're standing there, they start talking about, well, maybe we just go down anyways. There's 6 of us. I highly doubt that...
That means nothing. The 6 of you mean nothing to a bear. It will maul all of you if can be. This bear don't care. You are underestimating the level of intensity a bear has. Trust me.
The bear is going to come out of the woods and attack 6 people, especially a
yes, they will.
Black bear that is not known to attack people.
Oh, it will. Oh, it will.
Why don't we just walk down a ways, and if we see the bear, then we just turn around and leave. And if we see the bear, might make some good pictures. Let's just go down there and see what happens.
These boys are stupid. These boys are stupid. I'm gonna be honest, the boys are stupid. Pretty stupid. Really stupid. I'd smack all of them. Smack every one of them. All 6 of them. Or however many survive. Smack them all.
And they start walking. And sure enough, about 10 minutes into their trip down this trail, they see this massive bear parked right in the center of the trail about 250 meters away from where they were. The bear did not appear to be doing anything. It was just sitting there, but it was clearly looking at the group of them. So Darsh and his friends are just standing there, not really sure what to do, so they start taking pictures and videos. They're not moving any closer, but they just start documenting what they're seeing because this bear was apparently stalking this couple. It was pretty interesting, and they figured, hey, make some good pictures. So they start taking pictures and taking some videos of this animal, and the animal starts walking towards them. Now, it's 250 meters away. They recognize that this is a dangerous animal, and we don't want to get too close to it, but they felt relatively safe. Even if it started moving towards them initially, they still felt safe. But the animal starts jogging towards them. At this point, the boys put their phones away, turn around, and they start hightailing it the other way. And somebody looks back and notices the bear is now sprinting at them. This causes...
This is why you shouldn't mess with this bear. This bear was already set off clearly. Something that happened with this couple either something this couple did, or the fact this couple just happened to be another one that was stalked by this bear. This bear wanted blood, and you're the ones that just keep going. What could go wrong? As it says here, right here in the thing, what could go wrong? You about to find out.
This is the group to completely panic. They start sprinting back towards where their cars were parked. Absolute full panic back up the trail. No one's paying attention to anybody else. They're just running for their lives. And as they're turning their heads to look, the bear is gaining on them and gaining on them. Finally, after about 10 minutes of just running for their lives, they make it to the parking lot and they turn around. There's no bear, but there's short one hiker. Darsh Patel is still in the forest somewhere. The group starts screaming for Darsh. They know there was this aggressive bear in there chasing them, so they're obviously worried about him potentially getting attacked, and so they immediately call 911. The police show up and park rangers show up, and they go into the forest to try to find this bear and to find Darsh. And very quickly they come across this bear in a clearing, this 300-pound bear all by itself, aggressively pacing around this lump in the middle of this clearing that had sticks and branches on it. It wasn't clear what it was, and this bear is just pacing in a circle around this thing. And as these two park rangers get closer, they're armed. The bear looks at them and makes a move like it's going to charge, and they elect to shoot and kill this bear. Later,
Seemed like the right choice to do.
the bear's remains would be taken to a laboratory, and inside of the bear's stomach was Darsh Patel. He had been killed and eaten by this bear, and that lump that was on the ground that the bear was circling was whatever was left of Darsh that had not been consumed yet. When they recovered Darsh Patel's phone, they went into his images and they found he had taken one final picture before he was attacked. Here it is. The bear was not malnourished, it was not diseased, it just decided it wanted to stalk, kill, and eat a human.
This was a aggressive bear who just wanted to kill someone. That's twisted in a whole different way.
Vladimir Komarov was a Soviet astronaut who in 1967 was scheduled to orbit the Earth in the first manned flight of a particular Soviet spacecraft called the Soyuz. Komarov would be flying this mission solo, and so he needed a backup in case for some reason he couldn't go. And his backup was Yuri Gagarin, who was actually Komarov's best friend. This mission was very important to the Soviet Union, more from a political standpoint, but nonetheless, the pressure was on Komarov to successfully complete this mission. And so he, along with his backup, Yuri, had to train extra hard and make sure they did not screw this up. But it turns out the fail point for this mission was almost certainly not going to be Komarov or Gagarin if he ended up going instead of Komarov. It was going to be the spaceship itself. Gagarin, along with a host of engineers, did a full-blown inspection of the Soyuz and found 203 significant structural problems, and they all recommended postponement of this mission. But their recommendation was ignored because, again, this mission was so politically important to the Soviet Union that they were effectively ready to risk their astronauts to make it happen. When
Stupid! Stupid! God damn, stupid Soviet Union. Wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it be better, look better politically if you achieved the mission and got your astronauts back than have the astronauts die mid-flight? What were your thoughts? What were you thinking? I'm trying to keep my composure because I don't know how like the area of the Soviet Union, so I don't know how many people from here might be from there. But god damn, anyone who actually thinks there was some form of intelligence to that is as stupid as the thought process of risking your astronauts for this. Fucking hell.
Komarov found out about all these structural issues and the fact that the powers that be were not even listening and were basically saying, we don't care, you're doing this mission anyways. He was crushed, and he told a KGB agent that he was certain he was going to die. And this KGB agent would later say that he asked Komarov, well then why don't you refuse the mission? And Komarov said, if I refuse the mission, they're going to make my best friend go, and he'll die up there, so I have to go. Gagarin pleaded with Komarov to relinquish the role,
So the guy went so his best friend didn't die instead. Wow. The guy was like, no, if I don't go, my best friend will end up having to go, and he will die. I have to be the one to go if anyone's going to die. Wow.
Let Gagarin go instead of him, but Komarov was staunch. He said, I've been...
Credit to Komarov. I respect the person's thought process when it comes to, like, he don't want to put the best friend at risk, so do it themselves.
Given this mission, I'm going to go. You're going to stay here. But what Komarov did, which is so legendary, is he made sure his funeral, if he were to die in the course of this mission, would be open casket. Because he knew if he came back to Earth, it was probably going to be because this spaceship has crashed, and he wanted the Soviet leadership to see what they had done. So sure enough, Komarov gets in the Soyuz on launch day, he takes off, and the problems began almost immediately. They had very little power, they had limited communications with the ground, and the craft itself was spinning uncontrollably. Seeing how badly it was going already, Soviet leadership on the ground instructed Komarov to nix the mission and just try to come back to Earth. For 5 hours, Komarov circled Earth and attempted to re-enter Earth's atmosphere, but his ship, because of all of those structural problems, didn't work. And so...
Yeah, 200? Over 200 problems? And they ignored all of them? Yeah, no wonder it wouldn't work. Dumbasses.
18 times he attempts to re-enter Earth's atmosphere, but each time it fails. And it was around this time that American intelligence recorded a conversation between a high-ranking Soviet leader on the ground and Komarov. And the leader on the ground is basically crying and saying they're so sorry to Komarov and that he's going to be a hero. They got his wife to come on, and his wife is talking to Komarov, and Komarov's telling her, what to do with the kids, what to do with his estate. He's perfectly fine and healthy, but the craft is doomed, and everybody knows it. Then that call ends, and Komarov, on his 19th attempt, is able to re-enter Earth's atmosphere, which everyone was pretty surprised he could even do that, but his parachutes failed. As Komarov is plunging to his death, over the radio he's cursing the Soviet leadership that doomed him by putting him in a botched spaceship. And so sure enough, on April 24th around 7 a.m., Komarov's craft smashes into the ground, killing Komarov, and when they open it up, it's clear what happened to him. He didn't die on impact. He basically burned alive inside of this capsule as it was careening down towards the Earth. And so all that's left of him is this charred pile. But because Komarov explicitly stated that they had to have an open casket funeral, specifically because he wanted the Soviet leadership to see what they had done to him, they had to hold an open casket funeral with just these charred remains. And here is the famous picture of Komarov's funeral.
Wow! Okay, I'm gonna get...
Were the actual Soviet leaders that put him in that spaceship that was doomed. Here they are, viewing his open casket funeral. So that's gonna...
Wow! Okay, hold on, I need to process that. So this guy was like, if I die, I want my funeral to be open casket, so that the Soviet leadership could see what they've done to him. Done to me if I die. And probably the Soviets were like, okay, because they didn't think anything bad was going to happen, despite the fact they ignored it because they wanted to get this mission done politically. Then when he dies, and all that's left is charred remains. Just charred remains because he's been burned alive. Because they agreed they have to hold an open casket funeral for him. And the Soviet people, which is this photo, all of them are the people who put him on that plane, on that craft, and they are watching, and this is his remains. Oh my God.
That was doomed. Here they are, viewing stories, and I will get back to all the early comment.
Oh my God. My brain's in disbelief. That is awesome. Thank you everybody, rewind. Thank you everybody for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment what you think down below. Yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you for the next one.